A man I used to know kept a $5 bill folded in his wallet that he never spent. Not for luck, not for emergencies. He kept it there because 11 years earlier, a mentor told him something that sounded insane at the time. The people who become wealthy aren't the ones who make the most money. They're the ones who make the most decisions correctly every single day when nobody's watching. He didn't understand it then. He understands it now because that $5 bill sat in his wallet through two bankruptcies of people he knew, through a divorce, through a recession, and he came out the other side with a net worth most people spend their whole lives chasing. Here's the part that's going to bother you for the rest of this video. It wasn't one big decision that did it. It wasn't a lucky trade or a viral business idea. It was 10 small things he did almost every single day. So boring, so unremarkable, that if you watched him live his life for a week, you'd think he was doing nothing special at all. And that's exactly why most people never get rich. They're waiting for the big moment, the big break, the one decision that changes everything. But wealth doesn't work like that, and by the end of this, you're going to know exactly what those 10 habits are, including the one at number 7 that almost nobody talks about, the one that has nothing to do with money at all and somehow matters more than the other 9 combined. But first, I need you to understand why you've been thinking about this wrong your whole life. Most people believe wealth is built through income. Get a better job, get a raise, get a promotion, and the money problem solves itself. It's a comforting lie because it means the solution is always somewhere out there, in the next opportunity, instead of in your hands right now. A lot of people treat money like it's a math problem, when it's actually a psychology problem. And once I understood that, I understood why the shopkeeper at the end of my street, a man who never made more than $60,000 a year, retired with more in the bank than a lawyer I know who cleared $400,000 annually and had nothing to show for it. Same country, same economy. Wildly different outcomes. The difference wasn't the income. It was what they did with their days. So let's start there. With the first habit, because it's the one that makes every other one possible. Rich people, the ones who actually build lasting wealth, and not just the ones who look rich on Instagram, track their money daily, not monthly, not whenever I remember. Daily. It takes maybe 3 minutes. You open one app, you glance at what came in, what went out, and you close it. That's it. That's the entire habit. But here's what's happening underneath. Every single day, you're having a tiny, low-stakes conversation with reality. And the people who avoid that conversation, who let the anxiety build up until they're scared to even open their banking app, they're the ones who wake up one day $15,000 in debt, wondering how it happened. It happened $3 at a time, unwatched. A study out of Harvard Business School found that people who simply tracked their spending, no budget, no restriction, just tracking, reduced unnecessary spending by close to 15%, purely because awareness changes behavior. You don't have to be disciplined, you just have to be watching. The second habit is uncomfortable to say out loud, so I'll just say it. Wealthy people pay themselves first before a single bill gets touched. The moment money lands, a percentage, even if it's 5%, even if it's $20, moves somewhere it can't be casually spent. Not because $20 is going to make anyone rich. It won't. But because that single action rewires how you see your own income. You stop being someone who saves whatever's left over, which for most people is nothing, and you become someone who spends what's left over after saving, which is a completely different psychological position. My friend's father, an engineer who never earned 6 figures in his life, did this for 31 years straight. $20 became $200, became automated transfers of $1,000 a month once his income grew. But the habit, the actual muscle, was built in year 1. On $20, he barely noticed leaving. And this is where it gets interesting, because now we hit the open loop I promised you. You're probably thinking this is going to be another video about saving more and spending less. It's not. Because saving alone doesn't make anyone wealthy. I'll show you exactly why in a minute. And it connects directly to why some broke-looking guy in a Honda Civic can be worth more than your cousin with the leased BMW. But we need 2 more pieces first. The third habit, they read for 20 minutes a day and not for entertainment. This isn't about looking smart. Warren Buffett has said for decades that he spends most of his working day reading. And it's not because he enjoys sitting still. It's because in a world where everyone is reacting emotionally to news and trends, the person who actually understands what's happening underneath the noise has an advantage nobody can see until it compounds. You don't need to read what Buffett reads. 20 minutes on how contracts work, how taxes work, how the industry you're in actually makes its money. That's 20 minutes most people will never spend in their entire lives. And in 5 years, that gap becomes the difference between someone who understands the game and someone who's still confused about why they're losing it. The fourth habit is smaller, and it's the one that catches people off guard. They ask what something costs before they want it, not after. Not in a stingy way, in an intentional way. Before signing a lease, before buying the car, before saying yes to the vacation, they sit with the real number, including the version of that cost stretched over a year, over 5 years, before the excitement takes over and starts making the decision for them. Most people do the opposite. They fall in love with the thing first, then find a way to justify the number after, and by then, their emotions have already won the argument. This single reversal, number before desire instead of a desire before number, is worth more than any budgeting app you'll ever download. Now here's your reward for staying with me this long, because I promised you something surprising. And here it is. The habit that actually separates people who get comfortable from people who get wealthy has almost nothing to do with money. It's habit number 5, and it's this. They treat their body like an asset, not for vanity, for output. Because the version of you that sleeps 6 hours, skips workouts, and runs on stress hormones cannot make good decisions under pressure, cannot negotiate well, cannot think 3 moves ahead. And wealth, real wealth, is built entirely on the quality of decisions made under pressure. There's a reason so many high performers protect their sleep like it's a business meeting. It is one. Every bad financial decision I've watched people make, the impulsive purchase, the panic sell, the deal signed too fast, happened when they were exhausted, and exhausted people make broke decisions. Which brings us to something almost nobody wants to hear, and it's the pivot, the part where everything you thought you knew gets turned upside down. You've been taught that discipline is the answer. Wake up earlier. Say no to yourself more. White-knuckle your way to wealth through sheer willpower. And I need to tell you, that's not what separates the people who make it. Discipline runs out. It always does. What separates them is that they made the good decision automatic, so it never required willpower in the first place. The transfer happens before they can spend it. The tracking happens because it's a habit, not a chore. They removed the moment of temptation entirely instead of fighting it every single day. And that's the difference between someone who's exhausted from resisting and someone who's simply built a life where resisting isn't necessary. James Clear talks about this, that you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Every wealthy person I've studied, worked for, or watched closely was not more disciplined than you. They just built a life where discipline stopped being required for the important stuff. So let's move fast through the rest because you deserve the full picture. And each of these is a domino, not a footnote. Habit 6, they negotiate everything, quietly, every time. Not just salary, the cable bill, the interest rate, the invoice. Most people accept the first number because asking feels awkward, but awkward for 30 seconds has made some of the people I know an extra few $1,000s a year, every year, compounding for a decade. Habit 7, and this is the one I told you mattered more than the rest. They protect one relationship above the money. A spouse, a business partner, a close friend, someone they're honest with about numbers instead of performing success for. Because I have watched brilliant, wealthy people lose everything in a divorce that turned ugly, in a partnership built on unspoken resentment, in a family that stopped speaking over an inheritance. The shopkeeper I mentioned earlier, every Sunday night for 22 years, he sat with his wife and went through the numbers together. Not because they were struggling, because two honest people looking at the same truth make fewer catastrophic mistakes than one person hiding it alone. Habit 8. They buy back time before they buy status. The wealthy don't ask, can I afford this thing? They ask, what does this free me up to do? A cleaner, a faster commute, an assistant for 4 hours a week? These aren't luxuries to them. They're investments in more hours to build the thing that actually makes money, which is usually not a job at all. Habit 9. They surround themselves with people slightly ahead of them, not people exactly where they are. Jim Rohn said you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and it's not motivational poster nonsense, it's observable. Spend a year around people who normalize saving, investing, building, and your definition of normal quietly shifts without you noticing. And the 10th habit, the one that closes the loop, every single night before bed, they ask one question. Not, did I make money today? A different question. Did today's version of me make my future self proud or make my future self clean up a mess? That's it. 10 seconds. But that 10 seconds repeated for years is the compound interest of character, and it pays out exactly like money does. Slowly, then suddenly, then all at once. Here's what I want you to sit with. None of this was exciting. None of this makes for a good movie. There's no dramatic montage, no lottery ticket, no overnight transformation. It's 10 quiet decisions repeated on days nobody's watching, on days you don't feel like it, on days it would be so much easier to just swipe the card and stop thinking about it. That's the whole secret. And it was never actually a secret. It was just too boring for most people to commit to. The $5 bill in that wallet wasn't about the $5. It was a daily reminder that the version of him making decisions today was building the man who'd retire with dignity, and the version of him making decisions today was the only version who could actually do anything about it. You get to decide, starting today, which version of yourself you're building. Not next year. Not when the raise comes through. Today, in the next hour, with the very next dollar that touches your hand. If even one of these 10 hit something in you, give a thumbs up, subscribe to never miss an insight, and share it with your loved ones. I'll see you in the next one.